Well, I can say it, and I am not ashamed to say it. I hate sculpting hands. Well, if you hate sculpting hands as well, welcome to the video. And like the thumbnail and all title suggest, in today's video, we're going to be going over how to block out hands properly, and I'll be giving you along the way some anatomy tips for creating hands so that you don't end up giving yourself a headache over something this, I won't call it simple, but something that if you put in the time would become relatively easy. So before we get into the video, I have some minor announcements, so allow me to take some seconds of your time. And so I am going to rebrand this channel in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure when, but this channel will be changing. I think I'll change most aspects of it, but all the videos on it will remain there, but the name will change. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button while watching this video so that when the name changes, you would still be subscribed, and you'll still get notifications on the more recent and newer videos that are going to be coming out. I've been postponing this for a very long time, and I just wanted to say it in a video so that I will be committed and dedicated to doing it. Okay, enough ranting, let's hop straight into the video. And just to talk about what you're seeing already, I forgot to press record before I started the hand, but basically I just created a basic hand shape and just some anatomy tips right away. The hand is actually curved, so your middle finger is the highest point of the hand. Okay, a common misconception is that the knuckles are in a straight line. It is not true. The middle, it has an arc. If you have been making characters or anything organic, you will know that most things in nature have an arc. So this basically has an arc, and your middle finger is the highest point. So it goes up from the index, and from the middle finger goes straight down. Okay, so I'm just adding the basic pads of the hand, and I will put some anatomy reference, and I'm using some anatomy reference, and I'll try to put one on screen, but I'm just trying to block out the hand, just block out the major pads on the hand. Okay, and you can see the anatomy reference I have, just to show you that this the hand has basically three pads that make it up. Now I'm just going to add the thumb, and I'm using some insert multi-mesh fingers by Souza. Okay, so these fingers are really amazing, and big ups to him for creating this, and this helps a lot. I would recommend you tweak them, obviously, but they do a lot, and it's really helpful. Okay, so I add this thumb in now, and the position of the thumb is rather complex, so just try to get this right. I mean, look at your hand a lot, because you can look at a lot of reference, and I have a lot of reference everywhere. You see I have PureF opened up there, but you can look at a lot of reference, but always remember that you have a real life 360 view of reference right in front of you, because at some point your hand can serve as reference at most points of this process. Okay, so I'm adding the middle finger first, and pardon the meaning of the middle finger, but I'm adding the middle finger. Okay, another tip is that the middle finger is the length of the palm. Okay, so the length of the palm is equal to the length of the middle finger. So what else? Okay, let's keep, so you can tweak the fingers as you wish, and while relaxed, the hand has a curve to it. Okay, but the specific pose I was going with for a character I'm making, her hands are actually flared out, and I wouldn't want to make it relaxed and have to pose it flared out, so I just decided to make it flare out from the get-go. But basically, I will add some reference in the video as well. The hand, while relaxed, has a curve to it. Okay, so while making characters, basically everything curves. Okay, nothing is straight, everything curves. We have curvy lines, we have arcs, nothing is completely straight. Okay, so I'm just duplicating the rest of the fingers, trying to get that in place. Now, another common misconception is the fact that it's not a fact, is that people suggest or assume that the fingers, the space between the fingers are triangular, while in actuality they are more square-like. Okay, and of course I will add reference in the video at this point. So most of the references you are seeing here now, let me do well to give a shout out, is from Anatomy for Sculptors. Okay, and if you have not seen, heard of, or read that book, well, I'm sorry to say I don't know what you're doing, because that book is the most interesting. It's rather intriguing, but I won't say interesting. But it is the most, would I say, it is packed with so much knowledge and so much information that I could use that alone for reference and I will still create something nice. Okay, and I'm talking stylized characters here. Even if you want to do realistic characters, that will help you. But even stylized characters have to be grounded in reality somehow, and that book just helps you do that. Okay, so if you haven't seen the book, I will try to link it in the description. I may not, but it is Anatomy for Sculptors. Look it up and it will pop up everywhere. Okay, if you haven't heard of it already. So that's where all my references are coming from. Okay, so you might have some complications with different areas. Like I said, I'll delete that thumb. I think I've already deleted it in the video. But just try to look at your own hand, try to look at other hands, and just be observant, because that's how you get better. Okay, you see, I'm constantly going between tabs, and it's the book that is actually open on the other tab, the Anatomy for Sculptors book. I'm just constantly looking at it, checking what happened, what is going on, just to get a feel for what I'm doing right or wrong. And please do not be blinded by your own work. Do well to actually, if you make a mistake, try to correct it, and don't be biased because it's your work. Just look at it from all angles and try to look at the silhouette as well, because if you can't tell that your hand is a hand in silhouette view, well, I am sorry, I don't know what you're sculpting. So please try to look at the silhouette, because you can be confused with thinking that something looks right and you look at it as plain black and white, and the silhouette is telling you that the hand looks horrible. So just try to acknowledge that, and try to be mindful. Okay, even from the front view, the hand has an arc to it, so that arc of the middle finger being the highest still applies. Okay, now I'm realizing that my palm is actually very thick and it is really fat, and that doesn't actually occur, so I'm just moving that in. Now, of course, I should have added a forearm, but I got lazy and I got tired. I already had a forearm and I didn't want to recreate another one for this video, so I just let that slide. So the forearm, just to give a quick insight, it's almost a cube and not cylindrical. And that brings me to another interesting fact about the fingers. The fingers are actually not cylindrical like most people will see, and that's another common misconception. Okay, I feel you should be writing these things down, or just taking notes of them. Another misconception is, like I said, the fingers are not cylindrical like most people will suggest. They are actually flatter on top and more rounded at the bottom. So a flat top with pads underneath. Okay, so you can use a cube or you can use a cylinder that is very flat on top. Okay, making the thumb. The thumb is very annoying to create, because unlike other fingers, you can actually duplicate it, so you have to create a new one. But thankfully the IMM fingers has a thumb, but you still have to edit it a lot to get something you would like. Maybe you might like the default, but I had to edit it a lot. And the thumb is just very weird and annoying. It is super fat. It has only two phalanges. Those are the bones in the hand, because you can bend your other fingers and you can sort of count how many bones are there, but the thumb is just two. So just two, and it has a lot of pads around it, and it's really confusing, and the position of the thumb is mad annoying to get correct. So just try to pay close attention to that. And you can say you will fix it while rigging or posing, but it's really a headache after this. So just try to get it right the first time so you don't give yourself the headache. While making the thumb and the pad for the thumb, I think I will speed this part up a lot more than the rest of the video, because it's just me having a headache trying to get it right. Okay, so let me think of some other tips while you guys enjoy this time lapse. Okay, I just remembered I didn't finish what I was saying about the forearm. Okay, some interesting tips about the forearm is the fact that it is like the fingers basically, but both top and bottom are relatively flat. So if you want to exaggerate that, you would make the forearm like a square with rounded edges. Okay, so that's like a crushed soda can, for instance. So the tops are relatively flat and the edges are sort of rounded. Okay, so that's just a healthy tip. And we have a protrusion towards the pinky area, like on the side of the pinky. So that is just a bone. So you can just add that in with a sphere, or you can sculpt that in later on. But I didn't make the form, so I didn't see that. Okay. So you keep doing that until ZBrush crashes. You reopen ZBrush and redo all your lost work. And that's just the fun of it, guys. Not the headache of redoing your work, but just sometimes, yeah, you're so in depth and you don't notice some mistakes. And when ZBrush crashes, you just have to redo it, and you see that, well, I actually did something nice. That brings me to the importance of taking a break. The importance of taking a break. At some point, you need to take a break from your work, and you just need to study something. I say study. You need to do something else and just come back to it at a later time. I don't believe I took breaks in this block out, but I took one or two maybe. And just to say it now, I won't want you guys to feel that you don't block out as fast, because evidently this video is sped up, and it is sped up almost 6 times the original speed. So in actuality, in real time, the recording is about an hour long. I did take some breaks and I forgot to stop the recording, so roughly this was 45 minutes of recording. Okay, so don't feel bad if you can't block out in 20 minutes, because I actually couldn't myself. So keep practicing, guys, but I think I have talked enough on the topic. So thank you guys so much for watching. I never take your time for granted. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you are joining me again and you're not still subscribed, well, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button as well. If you have something to tell me about the video, drop it in the comment section below. I'll be sure to read it when I can. And do well to hit the subscribe button as well. But enough with the subscribing if you have already, and get out of here.